with Dutch from Sacred Art. How are you doing today?
Pretty good.
So this is the first year of this convention. How do you feel about it so far?
I'm very happy with the way everything is going. Right off the bat, when we pulled up, we were allowed to bring our vehicles into the expo center
Nice.
to unload, which made it very convenient.
Less
And
stress.
absolutely. And, for these things, the less stress, the better.
Yes, no, it's all about focusing on what you're here to do and not have to worry about anything else. So that makes a big difference. So I noticed you do a lot of support for military and first responders, and you yourself are also a veteran, correct?
Yeah,
So can you tell me a little bit about what you guys offer at your shop for people that are involved in that?
I absolutely can. Right now, up until the end of the year, which we're going to be offering, or we are offering 10% off for all veterans, first responders. And as a matter of fact, anyone who shows me a pistol permit for the state of Connecticut.
That's awesome.
Hmm.
That's nice to give back to people that do so much for us as well.
Yeah.
So, ooh, what else? Oh, and can you tell me a little bit about your service and what you did,
Yeah.
time periods and whatnot?
Yeah. I got on the program for the Marines when I was 16.
Oh, wow.
Got my parents to sign, and they were like, "You can go in, but you have to get a job, a real job." I wanted to be a grunt. I wanted to get in the dirt. They wouldn't let me. So after the Marines, we did 4 years there. I went to the Army National Guard here in Connecticut,
Oh, wow.
and I kind of didn't fit in with that. I was all locked and tight and just ready to go, and got out of that, and then went into the Coast Guard Auxiliary.
Oh, wow.
Did a couple of years there.
You did a bunch of different ones.
Yeah, yep. And now I'm with the Boy Scouts.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. That's a big jump from one to the other, huh?
Yeah.
But it's nice that you continue to stay a part of that and find where you could fit in. How long have you been tattooing for?
You know, on the record, I've been tattooing for about 8 years. Mhm.
What made you decide to go from all your military work and into tattooing? That connect at all for you, or?
Well, I was 8 years old and I started the tattoo club in my school, and I would draw on the kids with markers. I was obsessed.
That's awesome.
My parents were threatened that if I didn't stop doing that, I'd be suspended. So around 10 years old, the idea of tattoos just kind of faded. And it didn't come back until my time in the service when I was getting tattooed again.
I feel like there's a big connection. I always notice people before, during, and when they get back. Always like to collect artwork, and it's a good way to collect parts of the world you've been from, and been in. I'm sorry.
You're absolutely right. Yeah, that's the thing about collecting. A lot of people they want to get tattoos, and there's some guilt. Oh, I don't want to go to another tattooist. Screw that. Get tattooed by everybody here. Collecting tattoos. You're absolutely right. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
And I hope you have a good rest of the time during. And thank you for your support and your service and everything you've done for us as well.
Thank you for recognizing that.
Absolutely. Have a good rest of your weekend.
You too.
Thank you. I'm here with Angela from River Rose. How are you doing today, honey?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. So this is your first show.
It is my first show.
How has it been for you so far?
It's been so awesome. Every tattoo I've done has been so much fun and exciting and exactly what I want to do. So I'm stoked.
Were you surprised by anything specific at your first time doing convention?
Getting first place on Friday and color of the day, that was definitely a shocker. Yeah.
It makes you feel good. It makes it worth the work, though.
Absolutely.
And you are newer to tattooing. How long have you been tattooing for?
A little over a year now.
That's amazing to do it just in a year. That's phenomenal.
Yeah.
It's been one hell of a ride, I'm sure, with that.
Craziness. Absolutely.
So do you think that you would do more conventions after this being your first experience?
Yep. I have plans to do one in Rochester in October, and I'm thinking about doing the Manchester one in New Hampshire. So,
The Flower City one in Rochester?
yes.
Awesome.
Yep. Yep.
That sounds like it's going to be a good time as well.
I'm so excited.
Other than that, as far as with this convention and the hospitality, was there anything that was special to you and during this experience of maybe artists that you got to meet or something like that at all?
Getting to be surrounded by everybody that I've been looking up to for like the entire time I've been getting tattooed was really sick, and the goodie bag was so fun. Getting to give away my stickers and
The amount of people you get to meet, it's phenomenal.
exactly, yeah.
Well, I'm glad you had such an amazing first time, and
was
thank you for taking the time to talk to us.
Absolutely, thank
And good luck with your future in travels and
Thank
everything.
you.
Thank you. Have a good one.
you. You too, thank you.
So we're here with Bob Tyrrell. How are you doing, hon?
Good. How about you?
I'm doing good. Long weekend. Did you enjoy this convention for the first year that they've had it here?
It was great, man. It was crowded. I mean, a ton of people showed up for it. So yesterday was crazy. But yeah, I had a blast. I got a ton of friends here working and friends hanging out too. So it's been it's been a party.
Have you come to any other conventions in Connecticut, or is this your first one like in the recent past couple years?
Connecticut. I've done so many shows over the past 20 years.
I can only imagine.
I
I
can't.
just never noticed your name in Connecticut, so I was excited to see that you were going to be here. So I wasn't sure.
I may not have done any in Connecticut yet. I've done all over the East Coast, Massachusetts, New York, and Jersey
Okay.
and stuff. But
Not
Philly and
Philly's a good show.
I haven't been to the Philly show, but I in that area. Well, no, I was there years ago once,
Oh, okay. Before.
but it's been probably 10, 15 years.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I
So-
did Troy's show, the Philly show, when it was still in the hotel.
Okay. Was it Fast Eddie's when they did that, or was it what was that one called?
I forget.
Thank you. I'm sorry. Yes. Okay.
I don't think it was Eddie's show.
No. Okay.
Anyway.
Yeah. Sorry. Okay.
That was before Villain Arts.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah.
Okay.
Crazy Philadelphia.
Yeah,
Like maybe the late 90s.
Oh, okay.
I love Eddie, man. I mean, I know, known Eddie for a lot of years before he passed away. One of my favorite people on the planet.
Oh, that's
I
awesome.
love that guy.
That's sad, but it's awesome that you got to
Yeah.
have the experience of knowing him and everything.
Yeah, for sure.
So, being that you've been in the industry for as long as you have, what would you say are like the biggest changes that you've noticed in your career specifically? Whether it's the art style, how these shows have changed, conventions in general. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's everything. I mean, like when I started tattooing in 1997, there were no websites, let alone like social media, So like the way you got your work out was through magazines, tattoo magazines. So you'd send your stuff to magazines, they print it, and then they might hit you up to do an article, and that's how tattooers got known.
It was
23
less
years
smaller
ago.
of a,
Yeah,
networking sign, too.
way
Like,
smaller.
It was almost all about who you knew at the same time with that within the magazines. But I feel like it made it that much more special at times when me watching it as a fan, and you get to see the spread, and it was exciting to wait and see it when you were able to get the new release that month or every couple months.
Yeah.
So what do you do in your time other than tattooing? What is a hobby you like to do?
I play guitar before tattooing. I started when I was 34 years old, but all through my 20s I played in bands and stuff. So I was trying to do the band thing back then, and I was doing no art. Like my dad's an artist. It's the only job he had his entire life. So when I was a kid, I wanted to be an artist like my dad. I started playing guitar when I was 14, and then that's all I wanted to do.
Musicians are
So,
too at the same time.
it's art, yeah.
It's a good way to express yourself.
Yeah, I quit drawing completely, any kind of art, until I got tattooed right before I turned 30.
Okay.
That started me drawing again, and then I took an art class at community college. I was making kitchen countertops.
Oh wow.
I did that for 15 years. So from 19 to 34 years old, and playing in bands that whole time. So getting tattooed kind of sparked an interest in drawing again.
That's awesome. So, did you directly start drawing and then want to start tattooing? What inspired your idea to go from that to tattooing?
I was just drawing because I enjoyed it. Yeah, like I wasn't really thinking about it. I'm gonna start drawing so I can learn how to tattoo. I was just drawing. I spent 3 years. I took 2 more art classes over 2 other semesters, and it was just I fell in love with drawing again. I was doing charcoal portraits and all this, but at first I wasn't thinking about tattooing, but then at that time I was getting sleeved out, and I was going to see Paul Booth in New York, and Mario Barth from Austria tattooed my right arm.
That's amazing.
Like Paul did my back piece. It was my first like real proper tattoo. And then he sleeved out my left arm 6 months later.
Oh, you went quick.
Yeah, so when I was 33, I'd say I had 2 full sleeves, a full back piece from 2 world famous artists.
Pretty amazing.
And
be
I
able to
was-
carry that around on
yeah.
yourself,
And I was like drawing all the time, and it's like, so after about 3 years, I was slowly thinking about tattooing for 3 years, but like it seemed like out of reach for some strange reason. I'm like, I don't know if I could do it. So, but after 3 years, I'm like, okay, I have to learn how to tattoo.
That's awesome.
And it happened real quick. I got an apprenticeship, a short 3-month apprenticeship, and I was tattooing full time and changed my life, man.
No, it's definitely it's a lifestyle. It's not just a career change.
Yeah,
It is.
yeah.
It becomes everything.
Consumes you for sure.
Yes, it can be a lot of fun, but very exhausting as well. So where do you plan to go after this show? Do you have any shows coming up in the near future?
No, thank God. This is my third in a row. I did Winnipeg, Canada. Then last weekend was Detroit, my hometown. So that's always nutty. And after that show, I was fried. Then I had to tattoo a friend of mine from Israel, came into town, and I tattooed his stomach 2 days in a row. And then came straight here. So it's like I haven't been able to rest in 3 weeks. So I'm burnt out.
You're done.
So
You're ready for home at that point.
yeah. But now I don't have any conventions until June in Toronto.
Well, that's nice though. Maybe to relax and stay home and
I just work
enjoy.
at home and
Yeah.
chill. And, yeah.
get hyped up for the next show.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us. I really appreciate it, and
My
I hope you
pleasure,
had a
man.
great time at the show.
I had a blast.
And
Yeah.
I hope to see you again at another show in the future.
Yeah, I'm sure we will, man,
Awesome.
for sure.
Thank you so
Cool.
much.
Thank you.
Thank you.